Hi, I'm Daniel and welcome to another weekly market recap on this channel. Today we got the Thursday of 17 April 2025, and this week especially we are making the weekly market recap on Thursday because tomorrow is the Good Friday, therefore a majority of the markets are closed. We are expecting lower volatility, and also tomorrow it's my 30th birthday, so I moved the weekly market recap to one day earlier this week only. So thanks for understanding, and let's take a look on what was happening on the markets this week. As you can see at the moment, therefore 4 days into this week, the S&P 500 is down 1.5% in comparison with the previous week close. When we will take a look on daily chart, we can see that on Monday we opened higher than we closed on the Friday, mainly because of the positivity on market thanks to informations about 90-day pause on the tariffs, and also as there was information that the tariffs will not be applicable for the electronics. So the markets opened on the Monday in the green numbers. On the Monday also Louis Vuitton reported earnings which were not really good. Thanks for the Louis Vuitton were losing 8% of its value during the Monday morning session, and of course also their bad earnings impacted all of the other luxury brands out there as well. For example, Christian Dior were losing 8% as well, and many other companies in the luxury sector too. And of course, in case you were watching TikTok this week, you could see a lot of Chinese manufacturer showing there and selling the originals, fake or whatever it was, not through the original Louis Vuitton like shops, but actually they were offering the bags, the clothes, the shoes and everything else for much lower price straight towards the American customers. So in the end, who knows whether this trade war will not impact those companies even harder than what it did to them so far. On the Monday, we also received information that Nvidia plans to manufacture some of their AI chips in the US, what of course Donald Trump took already as a big victory for his tariffs policy. Okay, so that was the Monday. If you can see, the volume across all of the week was much lower than what we could see on previous week, mainly because there were much less confusing and shocking news about tariffs, about trade war or anything else. On the Tuesday we could see the news that China holds orders and all of the deliveries of Boeing jets has to go through approval process first. Thanks what Boeing on the Tuesday were losing only around the 2% of its value, probably because of their huge backlog. Therefore, this should not impact them in any huge way. On the Tuesday after the market closed, we received the information that US banned Nvidia from selling their H20 chips to China, what brings the mood on the market of course down. The futures before the Wednesday trading session were all in the red, what we can see also on the Wednesday trading session. And thanks to those negative news, Nvidia were losing 6.8% on Wednesday trading session, while other semiconductor sector were losing as well. For example, AMD was down 7.35% during the Wednesday trading session. On the Wednesday, also the ASML were reporting the earnings. As we can see, there was miss on the revenue, but also there was beat on the EPS and beat on the gross margin. So in the end, thanks not so good guidance for the Q2 of 2025, and as already there was quite a bad mood on the semiconductor sector on the market on the Wednesday, the ASML closed around 7% down from where it opened. On the Wednesday, we also received information that US announced 245% tariffs on China, while China replied that they are open to talks if US shows some respect. And thanks God, it looks like there could be deal between China and the US in near future. So stay tuned in case anything special would happen during the tomorrow's trading session. Some kind of YouTube short will come for sure to bring you all info about this week on the markets. The negative sentiment on the markets at the Wednesday were supported by the Jerome Powell speech, who said that the inflation is likely to go up. It did not support the investors at all, and as you could see, the S&P 500 ended more than 2% down on the Wednesday trading day, and Nasdaq lost around 3% on Wednesday as well. Before the Jerome Powell speech, there was priced in the 5 interest rate cuts till the end of the 2025. After his speech, there were only 3 cuts priced in, what means that before his speech, the investors expected that the interest rates will be lower by 1.25% till the end of this year, while after his speech they were not so sure anymore, and they are expecting interest rates lower by 0.75% till the end of this year. What, by the way, is still more than what Fed actually signaled on their previous Fed meeting. Okay, and finally, we are coming on the Thursday. As you can see, the stocks almost did not move from their place, and today we could see the Europe Central Bank deciding about their interest rates, and they lowered the interest rates by 25 basis points. As you could see across the week through the macro data, we had few CPI reports. For example, Great Britain reported a lower inflation than actually forecasted, and also on Tuesday there was reported inflation from the Canada, and it was lower once again. So as you could see, inflation is dropping across the countries, at least until now. Who knows how it will look in the following days, weeks, or months. Of course, the lower price of the oil and a few more things helped inflation to drop also in those countries as well. But in case the oil price or anything else would jump once again, it could be completely different story. So on the Thursday before the market opens, the TSMC reported their Q1 earnings. As you can see, they had beat on the revenue and EPS as well, and also better guidance than what was expected. But as you can see, it did not help the stock a lot. It almost did not move from where it opened. On the Thursday after the close, the Netflix also reported their Q1 earnings. As you can see, they had slight beat on the earnings, on the EPS, and also better operating margin than what was expected. As they provided also better Q2 guidance, they are at the moment growing more than 2% at the after hours. So we will see tomorrow whether they will be able to grow even more, or whether they will come any negative news and all of those aftermarket gains will be simply deleted. Okay, so this was what was happening on the markets this week. As I said already, at the moment we are 1.5% down from where we opened on the Monday. When we'll take a look on Euro USD, we are on the level of the 1.1368 at the moment. The oil price is a little bit higher than where it was 5 days ago, but still much lower than where it was in the January of the 2025. Gold this week was able to once again reach the new all-time highs, and when we will take a look on the Bitcoin, it's currently trading on the level around the 85,000, and you can see that we are going on the same levels up and down basically all week long. Okay, lastly we can take a look on best performing and worst performing stocks of this week. This is not precise because basically I believe it counts the last Friday as well, but in previous 5 trading days, the Eli Lilly up 15%, Dollar Tree almost 10%, Hewlett Packard 7%, and when we will take a look on worst performing, we can see here, for example, Humana, Nvidia down 8.5%, Meta Platforms 7.7 down, and for example, Amazon down 6.6% in the last 5 trading days. Okay, and lastly, let's take a look on what to expect on the markets in the following week. On the Monday, the majority of the countries has the bank holiday as it's Easter Monday, but during the week we can see here the unemployment claims on the Thursday, PMIs from the Europe and the US on the Wednesday. Okay, and next week we will see some of the biggest names on the stock market report their earnings. We can see, for example, Tesla on Tuesday, IBM, AT&T, Boeing on Wednesday, Intel, Nokia, Alphabet, T-Mobile on Thursday, and for example, Charter Communications on the Friday. Okay, so this was already second weekly market recap on this channel. In case you like this kind of content on this channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe as well, so that I know you want to see more videos like this in the future. Okay, but for me, that's all for today. So thanks for watching, have a nice day, enjoy the Easter holidays, and see you all at the next video. Goodbye.